What's up guys, Tucker Singer here with S&S Smithing. We're back in the shop today and we're going to continue our hand tools. Let's get talking about it. Alrighty guys, so today we're going to be continuing our little hand tool series that we got going. Last time we made a chisel here, and we're going to continue doing that. Right now I'm just using these little baby crowbars for material for this. Like I said, I picked them up real cheap. I have a bunch of them, and you can also do the exact same processes with like coil spring, any kind of stock you have. But this is what we're going to be using. I'm going to fire up the forge, go ahead, cut off this little end bit here, and get moving on to what we're going to do for the cutoff and all that. I'm probably just going to either skip it all together because you guys have already seen it like 2 or 3 times already. So we're going to go ahead, I'm just going to go through that real quick, and we're going to come back whenever we start the forging process. Alrighty guys, so now that we have that bit cut off, we're going to go ahead and start upsetting the end like we did with the chisel in the last one. Like I said before, just to get a bit more material in that end so we can make a little bit of a bigger slot punch with what we got. Alright, we're going to start upsetting this. Now, good thing to remember when you're trying to upset material, keep the heat short. So that way it minimizes the amount of bending you'll have. Alrighty guys, so now we got our end upset. Next thing we're going to do is start doing a taper down. Pretty much it's going to be almost like a one-sided taper, where it only tapers down one direction. But it's going to have a very slight taper along the sides as well. We're going to try to round those up so that way whenever we use it to punch holes, it'll have nice rounded edges. So we'll probably draw down the taper, round it up a little bit, and then redefine our taper a bit more. Let's forge down our taper. Alright guys, we got our taper drawn down to where I want it. That looks to be a pretty good thickness for the slot punch there. Next thing I'm just going to do here is continue to work on rounding up our sides here along where the punch actually goes. Now if you start off with round bar, whenever you just draw down the taper like that, as long as you leave the sides alone, you should be pretty fine, and it'll have that kind of squished round effect on its sides naturally. So that'll be alright. It's not too hard to fix the sides on this because it's got the hexagon shape. Pretty much just got to work down one corner on each end, just kind of work it back and forth. Gonna center up the taper in the next heat here. and continue blandishing it up. The smoother we get it before grinding, the quicker grinding will be, because then it'll just pretty much be buffing off most of the forge scale, and then it'll be ready for heat treat after normalizing once grinding and everything's all finished. Alright, so see you in the next video. We're going to fix up our taper here, just kind of even it up. Make sure it's running down the center of our parent bar. She looks pretty good. We got it all forged up and pretty centered. Next thing we're going to do, there's going to be some more straightening we got to do, but next thing we're going to do is throw in the hot cut and just cut her off more. So, since this is going to be a hot working tool, you want your handle to be a little bit longer. I like to have mine typically about between like 7 to 9 inches. I usually try to aim for about 8 total. So that way, if I'm working on thick, heavy material, my hand's going to be up away from it. I don't have to worry about roasting my skin. So throw this back in the forge and I'll get the hot cut out. Alright, our punch has been cut out. You see, cutting the center like that left us a good rounded end for our striking in there. That'll help us a lot in the grinding. Next thing we're going to do is just kind of taper off this striking end a little bit more. And then we're going to go ahead and throw her in the vise to straighten it up. Take out, clean this stuff up a little bit, and then move on to grinding and normalizing. Just going to go ahead and put a slight little taper on our striking end here. Alright, I forgot to push record on the camera whenever I straightened it in the vise, but she's turned out pretty good now. Next thing we're going to do now is just let her cool off. We're going to go ahead and do a little bit of grinding on it, and then we're going to hop over to the heat treating process. Alright, we're going to do some rough grinding on here now. Alright, there we go. Done with the bench grinder. Next thing we're going to do is just take her over to the belt grinder real quick and clean it all up. Alright guys, so she's all done here. It didn't take too long to grind because I spent a lot of time forging it and planishing it all up. But she's all smoothed out. Got the striking end ready. Now, a quick thing to note is pre-heat treat. This edge here, that's going to be the spot that shears out our plug. Whenever this is all finished, you want this to be a nice sharp 90-degree angle there, pretty much at the bottom of your punch. But for heat treating, I just took it and chamfered the edge a little bit just to take off that hard edge. I'm gonna grind it back flat where it's finished heat treating, just because sharp edges like that are prone to be fracture points during heat treating. So if you keep the edges not so sharp before heat treat, you got less of a chance of it fracturing. That, and then because we're going to go ahead now and normalize it through with thermocycling and stuff, that'll also reduce any chances of cracking or any funny business. So, alright, let's get started on that. Number one. Alright guys, so this week's channel shout out goes to Freeze Forge. He does a lot of cool videos. He started uploading some more. At the time of filming this, he just this morning released the video of him forging a fish skeleton coat rack out of scrap metal he found on the beach. So go check that out. As always, I'll have his links down in the description, in the cards here, and then also it will be at the end of the video. At the outro, you'll see his channel button somewhere. You can click on it, go check him out, subscribe, show him some love, let everybody know. Alright guys, let's get back at it. So, first thing we're going to do is just punch this down. Alright, so I'm kind of doing a double temper on this. The initial temper from the self-tempering, and then also, since I shut the forge down, I put the very back end of the punch in the forge. We're just going to let it soak up the heat from the forge, let it come down. You can already see some of the colors are coming through a little bit better. Starting to get to that straw color. The next thing we're going to do here is, once it comes to the darker straw I want to see, we're going to go ahead, quench the whole piece, and then we're going to go on to grinding. Alrighty guys, so here is our slot punch. Our nice ovular cross section there. Rounded edges. All the way back up to here, so if we need to punch thicker stock, it still won't do anything until it gets all the way up to about here. Our striking end looks pretty good. Kept everything nice and even. So, alright. She's all done. Alright guys, so our punch here is all finished. I hope you guys enjoyed this, as well as our little series we got going with these hand tools. We'll probably break it up here soon before it starts getting kind of boring and repetitive of seeing all these different punches back to back to back. So, well, this is the only punch we've done so far in the little series. We did our little Fuller as part of the blacksmith challenge. This kind of came off of. And then last time we did a chisel. And today we did a slot punch. These are good for doing like bottle openers, things like that. Or like whenever you're going to drift a hole. If you're going to put like a really big hole in some smaller stock that's pretty similar to the same size, if you use a slot punch or a slitting chisel, you'll get that long ovular hole. Whenever you drift it out, it'll just open it up. Alright guys, so remember, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hope to see you on the next one, guys.